Question 1. Who are two of the key cognitive development theorists and what are their main contributions to the field of cognitive development? I have decided to focus on Piaget and Vygotsky. Piaget's main contribution to the field of cognitive development was identifying four main stages: the sensory motor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete operational stage, and the formal operational stage. Piaget outlined in each stage the different cognitive developments children will achieve as they get older. In the first stage, children are able to learn through their senses and motor skills, and by the final stage, children are able to think hypothetically. Vygotsky's main contribution to cognitive development was identifying that a child's thinking is impacted by their understanding of the social community and that intelligence is developed through the ability to learn from instruction. Vygotsky came up with the idea known as the zone of proximal development. It is a two-stage idea where the first stage, the present level of development, explains what a child can do without assistance, and the second stage, the potential level of development, explains what a child can do with assistance. The space between the two stages is the area of proximal development. Question 2. Who are two of the key moral development theorists and what are their main contributions to the field of moral development? I have decided to focus on Piaget and Kohlberg. Piaget's main contribution to the field of moral development was that children were basically reasoning people and that emotions did not drive moral decision-making, but rather reason did. In Piaget's theory, he broke moral reasoning into two stages of development. The first stage, a child views rules as basically unchangeable. The second stage sees a child shift their moral thinking to placing more significance on the moral principles of fairness, cooperation, and respect. To progress from one stage to another, the child needs to experience emotions of sympathy, compassion, and respect towards others. Kohlberg's contribution to the field of moral development was building on Piaget's theory by developing a more elaborate theory. The structure of Kohlberg's theory was broken into three levels: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. These levels were further subdivided into 6 stages. Each stage details the progression of a child's development from beginning with the child understanding that being good avoids punishment and ending where the individual has established their own set of moral guidelines. Question 3. Why do you think it is important for teachers to have an understanding of cognitive and moral development? I believe that it is important because with this knowledge a teacher can create a positive learning environment. More specifically, a teacher would be able to plan curriculum and lessons which are suitable for the stage at which the children's cognitive development is currently at. Further to this, a teacher can notice students who are either cognitively more advanced or behind, allowing them to tailor the lesson so as to further cognitively develop those students. With moral development, teachers can establish effective strategies and framework to encourage students' moral development so as to create an environment where each student is valued. Understanding cognitive and moral development in students will ultimately enable teachers to equip students with knowledge and understanding to aid them in their journey through life. Question 4. How will knowing about theories of cognitive and moral development help you in your teaching practice? I believe that knowing about the theories of cognitive and moral development will be key in guiding my focus through the teaching cycle. Starting with evaluation, having knowledge of the children's stage of cognitive and moral development, I'll have a baseline as to what I should be expecting from the children in regards to their knowledge base and reasoning. With my knowledge of what the children understand, I can plan a lesson which grows their knowledge base, but also stays within the realm of their ability. Knowledge of cognitive and moral development theories will guide how I present my lesson material, and also how I will structure the rewards and discipline in the classroom. Assessing the student's ability to comprehend my teaching will allow me further insight into their cognitive and moral development stage and to structure my lessons in relation to their comprehension, whether that be more advanced teachings or less advanced. I then can apply my previous understanding and knowledge to continue the cycle. Question 5. Can you please provide an example of the application of cognitive development in the classroom? In your example, please specify the grade to which your example applies. My example is aimed at teaching a grade 5 class about Australia Day. Using Piaget's findings regarding the concrete operational stage, I would get the children to create group posters, focusing on what their favourite things about Australia are. When finished, each group would present their posters to the class at the end of the lesson. Creating a poster helps children draw on their own prior knowledge through drawing what they like about Australia. It allows them to analyse relationships between things and structure their environment. The poster is something that they can physically manipulate so that they can apply concepts they know or have learnt. The group presentation to the class allows students to learn about other people's different ideas and views. To draw on Vygotsky's theory, while the children are creating the poster, I would walk around the class talking to each child about the poster to further develop their learning through instruction. Question 6. Can you please provide an example of the application of moral development in the classroom? In your example, please specify the grade to which your example applies. My example is focused on teaching a Grade 2 class about standards in the classroom. Using both Piaget and Kohlberg's findings relating to this age, I would implement a star, reward, and punishment strategy. I would begin by establishing the rules of the classroom, followed by detailing the star strategy. Each child will start with 5 stars, and if a child follows the rules, they get a star. If a child does not follow the rules, they get a star removed. When a child receives 10 stars, they can get a reward, such as having the first pick of sports equipment for break time. If a child loses all their stars, then the child will be held back from break time for 5 minutes. The children would have an understanding of what they will get if they behave well, and they will also understand what they will get if they do not.